Welcome Summer 2014 College Algebra 1414 STEM students. My name is Robert DiGiovanni. I'm the instructor for this course, and this is an orientation video that I'm creating to help get you acquainted with how this course is going to work, where you go to do your work, and all of the little details of what you're supposed to do in order to complete this course successfully. So first of all, I'm going to guide you here to Northwest Vista's main website, and we're going to log into ACES, and hopefully you have the information you need to do this. And once you've logged in, then you click on the My Courses tab, and then you make sure you're looking at Summer 2015. Scroll down to College Algebra Pre-Cal track. And this is going to take you to our main page. Now, I have not published this course. Let me publish it real quick so it looks different for you. Okay, so what we have here is the main page. This is where we communicate. This is where all the information you need for the course is located. I'm going to take you to first the inbox. All of our communication must officially be done through this system. And so you click on that inbox, and if you want to write an email to me, click on that little page thing icon, scroll down to your course, and then you click on this little people icon, and just from this list, teachers and Robert DiGiovanni. And then you type in the subject of what it is you want to send. Always just check that box and go ahead and type in what you need. If you need to attach something, you can. You can even do a webcam video if you need to, even though no one's ever done that. You send that to me, and I will get that through the system. That's our official way of communicating. Now, your inbox is being displayed here to the left, and as things come in, you'll see a little dot. It'll be there. If you have not checked it, it'll look like that. Once you've checked it, it'll go away. So if I want to send you an email, this is where you're going to go to look for it. That's pretty much it for the inbox. Now let me take you back to the course. Okay, so there's a couple of things over here. We're going to go through our home page first, which is this main page. The first thing here is the orientation video. Right now there's no link to it because I'm making the video right now, but once I finish this, I'll put a link to it so you'll be able to go back and watch it. But the syllabus is located here, so let's take a look at the syllabus. I'm going to work through this with you. I know you can read, but it's important that I establish the expectations of the course. Although this is an internet course, we are required to meet 2 times for this class. There's going to be a meeting for our 2nd and 4th exams. That's basically like the midterm and the final. The scheduled dates are here. Make sure that you work your life around these dates and times. If for some reason you can't make those, I need to have at least a week heads up to try and accommodate you. But for now, let's just say these are pretty much set in stone. I'll deal with each person on a case-by-case basis if you can't make it. So just show up at these times, and you'll do a test here on campus. Make sure you allow yourself 3 to 4 hours to complete these exams. If you live out of town, then you have to get a proctor. That means you need to find some testing center or library, someone who's willing to administer the test. And once you get their contact information, you need to send that contact information to me. I will contact the proctor and make sure that they are acceptable, and then I'll let you know that everything's a go. The information I need is their name, phone number, email address, and how they're affiliated, whether or not they're a testing center, etc. The last day to drop this class is July 16, 2015. If you want me to drop you from the class, all you have to do is email me. Give me a 1-day notice, and that should be sufficient. All right, my contact information is here. Most important thing here is my office location, Juniper Hall, room 111, office O, and then my cell phone number. You can reach me anytime you want on my cell phone. Just make sure that if you're going to send a text to me, which is fine, make sure you include your name and what class you're in and how it is I can help you. Just remember that texting, sometimes, even though it's convenient and quick, sometimes I'll be doing something, I'll be out, with my family or something, and then I'll get a text, and I'll forget about it, and then, you know, that's just the way it goes. So I'm sure you've done the same thing. Texting is not really our official way of communicating, but it is there for you if you need to reach out. And that goes for any question you might have in terms of the course or specific math problems that you might need help with. I am in my office this summer on two days out of the week from 12:30 to 2 o'clock. So you're free to come in during those times and ask me questions or talk with me about anything. Now, this course is all going to be done online with the exception of those 2 tests you come on campus for. And so you do not need to buy a book. Everything you need is on a website called MyLabs, or some people know as Pearson MyLabs or MathXL. In any event, I'll show you how to get there. And you will need this code. This is the code, the course identification. You will need that to get registered at this website. So you will be purchasing access to this website in lieu of having a book. You don't have to get one. Okay, you have to have a scientific calculator for this course. So it needs to be able to do like exponentials and logs and things like that. You're also required to have a binder. And that binder is very important because you're going to keep all your handwritten work. Okay, you have to have all your handwritten work, quizzes and things you do at home have to be handwritten and put into this binder. If you do not put this work into a binder and turn this in, you will not receive any credit for anything you've done online. So just because you complete everything online and get hundreds on everything, if you don't have handwritten work to support it, you don't get credit. So I go back and turn them all into zeros. Also, this is a way to get extra credit in the class. If you keep a nice, neat binder, keep it organized, you know, I can give you extra credit. Also, this is 5% of your grade, the binder. All right, here's the description of the course, prerequisites, outcomes. Let's get to the grade. So the homework that you do online is 15% of your grade. The quizzes you do online are 20%. You have an at-home test that you do on the computer is 10%. The midterm is 20. The other at-home is 10, and then the midterm or the final is 20. Then your binder is 5%. So that's how your grade is going to be broken down. All right, so you have the video. You're supposed to watch this video, all right? And then we have these things called biosig verifications. I'll show you what those are in just a minute. You have to do your homework online. This goes through and explains how the homework works. You have quizzes you do online. You have the on-campus exams, online exams, and then the on-campus exams. Please note that you may have a cheat sheet for this test that you do on campus, but you cannot have worked out problems on this cheat sheet. So read through that a little bit. You need to bring pencils, paper, really just pencils, calculator, cheat sheets to the exams. You need to know your banner ID when you take the exam. Do not bring backpacks or purses because you will not be allowed to use them when you're testing. So just come with the bare essentials. All right, I do some reviews before exams 2 and 4 only. They'll be online and you can see them and you can access them. Those are your best guides for each test, for each of those, the midterm and the final respectively. And then there's more information about technical support, what happens if you miss an exam, things like that. Response time, I try and get back with you within 24 hours. You know, sometimes I get bogged down with other things. Just remember you can always call me if it's really urgent. If you don't want to be in this class, make sure you drop the class or withdraw yourself. If you don't, and at the end of the semester you have a failing grade, then you'll just get an F. So make sure you get yourself out of the class if you don't want to be here. I'll let you read through the rest of this on your own. This kind of just talks about how the course works and some tips and things like that. That gives you just basic overview of the way the course works. So that's our syllabus. Now, if you're going to go do your work, then what you're going to do is click here. This is where you go do your online homework. And it's going to bring you this MyLabs Mastering website, which is put together by Pearson. If it's your first time here, what you're going to want to do is register as a student. So you'll register, and I believe the first thing it's going to ask you for here, let me bring the syllabus back up. Get that course ID, there it is. Copy that here, and it's going to make sure it says, do you have an email address? Make sure you use your alamo.edu email address, the course ID, which is what I just copied, and then you need a credit card or something to pay with here. So I put in the course ID, and then either I already have an account or I can create a new one. So let me see how I want to do this. I'm going to try this with my current account and see what happens. Okay, good. All right, so what it's giving me is an option. I can use credit card or PayPal. I can pay for the access to the course. Remember, this is going to give you access to everything, even an electronic book. If you buy a book at the bookstore new, it'll come with a code, but it'll probably be more expensive than $95. So if you bought a book, you can use an access code. And then, very important down here, if you're waiting on funds before you, if you're waiting on financial aid or something like that, or you're waiting to get paid and you don't have the money to do this, you can get temporary access for 14 days. If you click on that, you will be able to come into the class. And I actually recommend you do this either way before you pay at all. And that way, you can give this class a good week try before you commit yourself to it. And so, go ahead and do that. Then within the 14 days, it'll keep reminding you, you need to pay, you need to pay, you need to pay. And the important thing is that you pay within that deadline. If you go past that deadline, things get chaotic. Sometimes students lose everything they've done online because they have to create a new account, and it's a mess. So just make sure if you do this temporary access that you do pay it off before the deadline. So once you're in, I'm not going to actually go in there. Once you're in, you will be able to do the work. So what I think I'll do is I will take you there right now and show you how everything works. So you've registered, you've paid, or you've done the temporary access. And now you log in. So here you'll see the course on the left-hand side, Math 1414, NVC, Summer 2015, Di Giovanni. And your page will look something like this. You won't have any of these things that have these little screen with the mark through them. You won't see those. Your main icons or the main tabs you have are homework, quizzes and tests, gradebook, and multimedia library. So let me just kind of show you how this course works. Most students, they'll go to their homework. Actually, you know what? Let me go to the course home. I forgot to tell you about this page. This home page shows you kind of a calendar of when things are due. It tells you when the next due date is and what's due on those days. Any announcements. Make sure you do run this browser check. It just checks to make sure your computer is configured properly so you can do this course and not run into any issues where the problems weren't coming up or something. Do that before you actually get too deep into anything. And then also this how to enter answers just kind of goes through a tutorial showing you the very important things about this computer program. It's very picky about things. If it says give me the solution to an equation and the answer was 2 and you put 2 but it wanted you to put x equals 2, it'll count it wrong. So watch this little tutorial first and it'll kind of explain all those little things to look for. So let's look at homework, and actually what we're looking at is just homework now. I can look at just quizzes and tests. I can also look at everything. And I like to look at everything, and I like to view it everything on one page. So this is really going to lay out the entire semester, everything. Okay, the entire semester, day by day. And what it does is it shows what assignments due, when it's due. And you can see what I've done is I've clumped things together. And you really don't have a lot of deadlines this semester or this summer. You have to kind of stay on track. Check this out. June 21st is your first deadline. Well, I'm sorry, the 9th is your first deadline. This is just a syllabus verification homework. It's a yes or no question. Just make sure that it verifies that you're in the system and that you're actually registered here on this website. So you've got to do that. But after that, your next deadline is not for a few weeks, but it's a lot of things. Okay, you've got all this stuff all the way up into everything into exam 1. So that tells you you've got until the 21st at basically midnight to finish all this stuff. So I recommend you start working on it as soon as possible. Do not wait till the 21st to start all of this because there's no way you'll have time. So you want to chip away at this a bit at a time. Every day, commit a couple hours to this. And then after that deadline, the next major deadline is here, the 6th. And that is also, the 6th is also when you're going to come in and take that midterm. I believe it's the 6th. I can go back and look at it. And then the next major deadline is the 20th. and then after that the 30th. So there's really, only 3 or 4 major deadlines here, but that, although that sounds good, you really are going to have to stay on track, and you're going to have to keep pace with things. Falling behind in this class is not an option. If you contact me and say, hey, I've fallen behind, I'm not going to be very compassionate, because I've given you a heads up of when things are due. It's up to you to make sure they're done on that by that time. So let's take a look at a homework assignment. I'm going to go ahead and go into this homework assignment and just kind of show you how things work, how students actually learn. A lot of students will just bring up the homework. They'll bring up the first question, and they'll take a look at it, and they'll see, do I know how to answer this? Let's let this load. Do I know how to answer this? Well, if they have no idea, then usually they go to the textbook, and this will actually bring up the textbook, and they can read through the textbook. Wow, can you imagine that? You read through the textbook and try and learn what's going on. I'm going to pause this video real quick because I am getting an important phone call. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so there's that online textbook, and you can just kind of read through things here. Now, that's one thing that a student can do. You can also view an example, which will allow you to look at a problem similar to the one being asked, and it'll take you step by step through the solution. You can ask me. If you click that, it will send an email to me, and I can reply. Now, again, give me a day or two to get back with you, but I will get that on my phone as an email, and then I'll try and respond as soon as possible. You can also print it out. You can print out actually just this problem or the entire homework assignment, take it to a tutoring lab, get help with it. And then there's the help me solve this. Now what this does is as soon as I click this, it counts the problem wrong. I don't know if you noticed that. And then it's going to take you step by step through asking you questions as you go, how to solve the problem they just asked. And then when you're done with it, notice it's counted it wrong, and now it's loaded a new question for you to try. And the idea is that you get multiple tries at these problems until you can hopefully get it right and understand what's going on. And that's how the entire homework assignment works. You can save it at any point in time, come back and work on it later. And so, some of these problems have videos. If you see a little green icon, that means it has a video. And that's your homework. Now the quizzes, I'm going to bring everything back up again, show everything here. The quizzes are very similar. Get everything on one page again. Quizzes are very similar. What I've done is I've taken problems from the homework and I've created a quiz from them. The only difference between a homework and a quiz is that you get 2 chances at the quiz, all right? You start it, and when you start it, you get no help, so there's nothing over here to help you. You got to put in the answer, and you go to the next question. It's not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. Once you finish the quiz, you submit it. It's warning me I haven't answered a bunch of stuff. Right after you submit it, it'll tell you what's right and wrong. If it's an X, that means you got it wrong, but you tried it. If it's an X with parentheses, that means you never even tried it. So you can go back, and if you click on it, it will actually show you what the correct answer was. Correct answer was X is less than 35, and you put 4. So you get immediate feedback, which is pretty good. Okay, now when you take a quiz and you submit it, you get a grade. If you're not happy with that grade, you can try a quiz again. You can try that quiz again. It'll regenerate new problems. They won't be the same problems. It'll generate new ones, and you can get a second try at it. Now, the only difference between that and a test is the test is a little longer, and for the test, you only get 1 try at each problem. And that's exactly the way it'll work when you come on campus. Your exam 2 that you do on campus, that test will also be just 1 try at each problem, but you will do it on the computer. So when you come on campus, it's not like you're going to be taking a paper and pencil test. You're going to be doing it online. You'll just be sitting in a computer room. Okay, your gradebook keeps track of all your grades, and it'll show you where you stand with things. This is also a place you can go back and review your assignments. So after the due date, if you want to go back and take a look at some old work, you can come in here and review them that way. And then the multimedia library, this is just another way of getting to the electronic book. So you can just go and like pick a chapter and pick a section and then say, show me everything for that section. And it'll bring up a link to any animations, to any videos, to the book, any PowerPoints, any other videos that are out there. There's a lot of stuff out there. So those are videos. This is all done by the publisher, by the author of the book. Okay, this is all, you know, some of your resources. So I hope you kind of get the idea of the way this is working here. This is where we communicate. You click here, you go to that My Labs place to do all your work and where you actually learn. Now, on top of that, I also have made my own videos. Now, these videos are videos that I did last semester. It was a face-to-face class. I tried to label these videos the best I could so you have an idea. This would mean like the 7th day of our class, we covered 3.3, 3.4, and 3.5. You can watch these. These are not perfect videos. In other words, they're not matched perfectly with exactly what is stressed with this system, but it's just another alternate source of information and guidance on these types of problems. So if you're having trouble with the homework here for 3.4 or 3.3, you can come here and watch the video I did in class. Now, the way the video works, it's just a screen capture of my lecture. So let me one close. And remember, this was a face-to-face class that I had. So I talk to the students and interact with them, and if for some reason I say something about homework, something it goes up, right side is going down. Apply to you. It only applies to them. So again, just another resource for you, as far as learning. What else do we have here? The BioSig assignments. I don't know if I've set these up here. I'm going to let you go through this yourself. Yeah, they're all set up. Perfect. Okay. So what you're going to do is, throughout the semester, you have these due dates. What you have to do is you have to come in here. The first one is due on the 9th of June. This is your enrollment. And when you click on this, let's see if it actually brings it up. It's going to let you set up what's called your BioSig identity. You're going to use your mouse or a tablet, if you have a tablet, to create this unique 4-digit code. And the system is supposed to somehow like look at the way you draw things or write things and remember it. And then throughout the semester, 8 different times, you are going to have to come in there by a certain day and certain time. So like your first verification is due on the 9th, which is also the same day that you enroll and set that thing up. You have to do your first verification. All it is, the verification is just brings up a screen, says draw your 4-digit number. You draw it, it checks that it's you, and then that's it. And you just have to make sure you do it by these deadlines. So please keep track of that, because you don't want to miss these. These have to be done. If you do not do the BioSig verifications, you cannot pass this course. It is a district policy that we have to have some form of verification that our online students are who they say they are. Now, I know that this doesn't really stop you from going over here and doing the work or having someone else do the work. So it doesn't really stop people from cheating, but in some way it does verify that at certain points in time, you were the one coming in here and verifying yourself. So it is what it is. Please make sure you do that. Let me go back to that main page. I want to bring up the syllabus again because I want to see if I had the schedule on here. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there is a schedule here within the syllabus. I forgot to get down to the bottom of it. This is real important. It shows you all the BioSig assignment deadlines, and then below that, all your homework and quiz deadlines. So that might be a good page to print out because you can kind of keep track of things. Like maybe you could like highlight the things that are due in June, June 21st, and the stuff that's due in July, and that way you don't fall behind. But it's all there for you. Okay, we're getting close to finishing this up. Okay, got all that. Make sure the My Labs, where you go and you register, that's where you went here. And I told you could get the temporary access or whatever. You must do that by the 9th. If you're not in there by the 9th, you're going to be dropped from the class. So you've got basically 1 day well, the semester starts on the 8th. You've got till the next day at midnight to get enrolled. If you're not there, you're dropped. Okay, so discussions. If you want to ask questions about things, you can always text me or call me. But if you want to talk to each other, you can go here to the discussion board and you can just go into like math questions and just, the discussion board. It's public. Everyone in the class sees it. So you can just put in your own thread there and see how, see if people reply. After that, we have files. So for files, let's see what I've gotten here for you. Okay, some of my face-to-face class, remember I told you I had some videos that I made that you can watch if you wanted to. I also put in some of the solutions to some of their homework problems and the class notes and stuff. That's there. Again, it's just extra stuff for you to look at if you want. But these two things you do need. The binder that you keep for the class has a table of contents. And so the binder, you should have this table of contents. This should be the first page of your binder. Make sure you put your name and the course you're in. And so you should have different sections in the binder. First section should have the error log and any cheat sheets you have. Cheat sheets, remember, you're going to have for your on-campus exams. Handwritten homework can go in the second section. This is optional. You do not have to have all your handwritten homework. So when you're doing problems online, you're doing your homework, you might redo a problem 3 times before you get it right. So I don't need all that. But if you do put all that in there, it's bonus. Now, the quizzes you take online, you must have handwritten work for. They have to be clearly labeled and separated. Same thing with the exams you do online, clearly labeled and separated. I'm sorry, the exam reviews, because there are reviews for the 2 exams, the exam 2 review and exam 4 review. Put those in the binder. Then the actual exams, exams 1 and 3 that you do at home, make sure you include the work for those. If you are using the discussion board and asking questions, anything you put in there, please print it out and put in here, and I will give you bonus for that. So I'm encouraging participation. Then the error log. So this error log, the way this works is that I told you that the computer is very picky, about counting things wrong even though you got them right. Instead of calling me or freaking out and sending me emails, just keep a log of anything that you think you deserve credit on. And what I will do is at the final exam, I will pick this up from you and I will go through each of the different things and I will correct them online and adjust your grade. All right, so keep that, print that out, put it in your binder. All right, people, this is just a way to reach people in the class if you want. I believe you can click on different people and you can bring up their email and send them emails. Just keep it, course related. Don't be like harassing each other. And then the assignments, that's where you do the biosigs. So this is the biosig verification stuff. Remember, these assignments are different than the ones you do here. These are your homework and quizzes that have to be done. You have to stay on task with. So there's kind of 2 different places where you have assignments. These, that's just your verification, and then your actual math homework and stuff. Okay, I hope I've covered everything. I am going to be sending out a problem set today. This is something we're sending out to all of our 1414 students. It is a set of problems that you must have completed by the end of the first week of class. So let's say I'm going to make it due on the 15th, and I'll send an email about it in a little bit explaining more. But somehow you're going to need to get that to me. I don't know if you're going to need to scan it and email it to me or something, but every student in 1414 at this college must complete this set of problems. So I'm going to be sending those out to you along with an email that's going to give you all directions to find this video that you're watching right now. And so more information to come. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me on my cell phone. I am going out of town. I'm going to be out of town from the 4th tomorrow until the 7th. I'll be coming back on 7th. So I might be out of reach for a while, but I will be back for sure on the Monday, the 8th. So if you have any issues, please contact me. Look forward to a good semester and look forward to meeting you at the midterm.